Hey guys, Trina here. Okay. Yesterday, I made a video about talking about the ban list, the changes to the format, and what it's going to entail, and I told you guys, promised you guys, I'd be doing another video talking about what I think is the ultimate direction in which Konami's going and how they want to perceive the game going forward. If you recall, I made a video about this back in January or December, right after the ban list then, in Anaheim. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is moving into the direction that Magic is in. And what do I mean by that? In Magic the Gathering, you don't really have archetype specific. You have decks that have generic engines within the archetype. So you have like a warrior deck, a token deck, a control deck, aggro, like aggressive base stuff. Yu-Gi-Oh! You have like Ryzeal, Malice, Thunder King, what do you call it, like Sky Striker, all those things, okay? Now I feel like they're trying to make you pick a side. So going forward, we're going to see decks that are going to be archetype specific. Memento. Even Memento is going to break off. The YCS winner just won it with Memento Goblin Bikers. But you'll have like Memento, you'll have Ubel, you'll have Infernoble, you'll have specific strategies that play Voice, another generic, like just engine. That's huge engine, it doesn't really have room for anything quote unquote spicy. But the rest of the decks, which will be thriving in this game, are going to have specific generic engines that can fit inside your deck and that's weird. Fit inside your deck and really make an impact for your archetype. So what do I mean by that? I've put several Ryzeal decks together, none of them pure, but they're all with specific generic engines that will just compete the meta and check it. And I think it'll do that. I'm actually forgetting a picture here now that I talk about it. I think it'll do that handily for the upcoming meta. Okay. So what am I trying to get at here? Engines that can go inside any normal deck. Fiendsmith, Kashtira, Adventure, Kaiju, Sky Striker, anything like that. That's a generic engine that can go in your deck and make your deck that much more powerful. By hitting Malice and Ryzeal the way that they did, it makes you have to adapt in a sense of you can no longer play your 10 Ryzeal monsters and 20 non-engine. Like, you gotta think outside the box and include a sub-engine to help you. Yes, you can play 7th Ascension, 7th Tachyon to replace all those hits that just happened. I dare ya. Go ahead and I dare ya. That'll be cool. Good for you, good luck with that. However, they are kind of forcing you into picking a sub-engine to go along with your main deck strategy to be able to play this game going forward. And if you think I'm wrong, I prove my point solely based on the fact that they didn't even hit Fiendsmith in any manner whatsoever. All they did with Fiendsmith is make it affordable to everybody. So let that sink in. Fiendsmith will be everywhere for a little while until it gets power crept by a new generic non-engine. But this is the direction they want you to go. And I'll show you my thinking by when I talk about this tier list that we're going to talk about today. This tier list today is going to entail generic engines that I've thought about that are going to go handsomely into your architects or archetype specific decks. Sorry, I've been talking a lot today. Alright, so let's just get into it and I'll talk about it. The first engine I have here is a Sky Striker engine. You've been seeing Tempai Sky Striker. I saw a few decks with Sky Striker, Malice, things of that nature. Sky Striker is a very strong engine. I don't think it's the best, but it's a very strong engine that I could see be almost meta-defining in a way. So keep an eye on that. Danger. Now everything coming off the list has a chance to be like a dark horse this meta. I know Dangers were around when I was out of the game, so I'm not too familiar with how well they'll interact, but from everyone I've spoken about is they've been just saying keep an eye on Dangers. They could be a thing. Invoked. It goes great in Blue Eyes, which didn't get touched at all in the ban list, so it's just going to be prevalent and strong everywhere. And to the people that can't afford Primite, this is a great way to play Blue Eyes if you can't afford the Lord Lillos. So, Kaijus. Detonator is at 1. Kaiju fans. You don't have to worry about a follow-up now. If you can Detonator it, or if you can Kaiju it, and then if you choose to Bestial it, you've taken care of Detonator. The Malice cards. Everything's taken a hit. Everything. So you can Kaiju all these things. So those problematic cards that we've been talking about lately, they're now going to go against people who can't afford these big expensive Primite builds and all those things like that. I'm actually going to put that on this tier list too. So people won't be able to afford Primite cards. And that's okay. There's other cards you can play around this deck, such as Kaiju. Kaiju can really do work for you. And I don't think that people really see that because it's been out of the game for a while. So I just want you guys to remember that I think a lot of stuff is going to start coming out of the woodwork right now because of what has happened in the ban list. People are going to start getting crazy, people are going to start putting things together, and I think Kaijus really have a chance to step in. So, speaking of Primite is one of the best generic engines in the game right now. It's hands down one of the best. I don't think it really has a much more of a match other than Fiendsmith. Maybe another one. Very strong generic engine that can go into a lot of decks. So, yeah. Cash Tira. Again. Detonator is at 1. Guys. So if you have a very heavy Ryziel local, Unicorn will now put Ryziel in check. Essentially summon Unicorn and dare your opponent to hand trap you. You can check the deck right there. I think that this is probably going to be one of the best generic engines going in decks for at least the start of this format. Post Alliance, who knows, but for right now, banishing stuff face down seems really strong in my opinion. Not much to say here. This is the GOAT. This is the best generic engine in the game right now. Fiendsmith, hands down, will be the wonder glue, super glue, magical tape that'll fix your deck right now. So if your deck is in question and you're worried about, can I do anything? Can I do this? Can I do that? I think that this is the answer, and it's much cheaper. It's better to pay the $110 for the generic engine than it would be to have paid the $300 and something it was. So, the Wanted as a Mina engine. Holy shit. Tell me if this sounds familiar, right? So, Fiendsmith. What does it create? A generic Omni. I know that. Doesn't Asmina have a generic Omni? A card that draws you a card? Doesn't Asmina draw you a card? Recursion. Doesn't Asmina have a lot of recursion? Big random bodies that can out monsters if needed or be a wall of defense? Doesn't Asmina do that? Oh, and a pop. Oh! Doesn't Asmina have a fusion card that just pops? Like, guys, these two literally do the same thing. Not hands down. I think that this has a better recursion effect, but they do the same thing. So, if you're on a budget, play Wanted Fees or pay Wanted Asmina stuff in your deck. Nothing wrong with that. Now, this is what I consider a engine now going forward. An engine, I call this just the triple T. The triple tactics spell cards that I feel like are going to be almost mandatory in your deck going forward. Until one of them gets banned, or both of them, or three of them get banned. But I think that going forward, you should have this package in your deck as long as you can do it. Crossout is there, and Called By are there, specifically to help you continue your turn. Especially if you play Raziel or Malice in any fashion, you're going to need those two cards. They are going to help you win a lot of games. It's going to suck to get hit by a Saki one of, but they are going to help you win a lot of shit. And they're going to be needed. Talents is the icing on top. Talents is a card that I've been telling people on my channel for a year now is going to either be limited or banned, and it finally happened. This card's amazing, and luckily we have 4 of them if you choose to play Thrust. So, there you go. Another Dark Horse engine I want to call out is the Tri-Brigade engine. Things like Fire King, things like that kind of deck can play it and really throw a locals off and do very well. So watch out for engines like that. The Fusion Destroyer engine, a once a turn pop that can just recur is insane right now. It can do a lot for you. Summon Detonator, pop, you put it to the grave, they can't pop it in defense. They can cross it. Hopefully you have other stuff in your hand to be able to counteract or fight back. But the reason I put Dreaming is because you gotta play bricks. And I'm not for bricks right now. Another Dark Horse that I've been waiting to see come out of the woodwork now for like a year is the Adventure Package. I feel like we need to, especially after this ban list, I feel like that they are trying to make it more loud than ever that, hey, we're challenging you guys to be creative and think outside the box. And I think that this kind of engine can go into a special heavy summon kind of deck and just wreak havoc. So please guys, get creative. Show it off. Sprite, what do you got? Things of that nature. Decks that can just thrive off of the special summon and don't really count on or have to lean into their normal summon. I want to see you sound off here, okay? Bestials, the only reason I'm going to put you here is because I'm sick of seeing you, but you're incredibly powerful. We all know that. Yes, you took another hit. You now got your 2 big bosses in Magnemute and Druid's Worm to 1. I don't think that really matters. Just having generic dark and light dragons that you can just special at any given time against a light and dark deck is just nutty. And then finally, the Nadir Servant package with Dogmatica. I'm gonna say this is at the very end of the best or the very top of good. The reason being with that is because I think these are all truly just better packages that I would put into my deck before this, but I mean with Voiceless Voice it stays in there. I'm never taking this package out, but there are a lot of decks like Fire King that I've messed around with, that I just think that this package is going to shine, and it's going to shine bright. So that's where I'm at with the game. This is where the direction I think the game is headed in, and I think that it's going to be something that you should be investing in, are these types of generic packages that can just go into your deck. And I hope it gives you ideas, deck builders. I hope it gives you guys other content creators, if you so happen to choose to watch my channel. I challenge you, man. Put these engines in the decks and try and make it work. I'm a full-time dad and I have 2 jobs now, and I have another baby on the way. I can't get to locals as much anymore, but the people that can get there weekly or maybe even twice a week, I challenge you. Try a night with Kaijus, try a night with Adventure, try a night with the Destroyer package, try a night with Dangers, and just report in. Can these match up against the best decks? Can these match up in a local? Because a guy like me, my Super Bowl is a regional. I'm playing in a regional this weekend. It's the biggest event I'll probably play in the rest of my career in Yu-Gi-Oh! So it's my Super Bowl. And now the ban list drops today. I got 5 days to figure out what I'm going to play my Ryzeal deck with at the regional. So it's got to be an engine, leaning heavy one way or another, and I'll show you guys that deck Saturday night when I get home from the regional. But I'm like down to 1 of 2 options here, and I'm telling you now right now, I've been playing pure Ryzeal at locals for a month now, and that's gone. That is no longer a train of thought. Pure Ryzeal is no longer an option in my opinion. You are being challenged to create different deck and build deck in a different way, and I'm excited for it. So let me know what you guys think in below the comments. Please like, comment, subscribe, be kind, be respectful, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Happy new format. Peace.